live in the flesh. One of my favorite people, Michelle with Batch Leads, is here today to do a demo on MLS comps nationwide. Guys, you do not want to miss this. Michelle, thanks for joining me today.
You're
How the
so
hell are
welcome.
you?
Oh,
What's going
I've been
on?
good. I've been good. Oh my gosh, we have been so busy these past couple days, but it's been really great. So kicking off the year strong and yeah, just trucking along here.
Man,
How have
I
you been?
I love it. I am doing awesome, actually. Rocking and rolling, buying houses and deals, and I haven't been doing a ton of traveling lately, which is great. But yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. So today we're going to focus on MLS comps. We're going to focus
hmm
on the fact that Batch Leads is a great solution for this, and that they have these MLS comps nationwide. In fact, PropStream doesn't.
hmm
They just lost this
Yeah, I think they released a
yesterday in
statement
Propelio,
yesterday.
which I've never even really used, but I know that that's also been a solution.
hmm
It sounds to me like they lost that on their end as well a couple of months ago.
Yeah, from my understanding, it's just a change in ownership and one of their data providers is no longer partnered with them where they are able to get that information. So yeah, just with batch leads, I've been getting so many questions over the past couple days because I know there's a ton of people that are on PropStream for that specific reason. We are not, nothing is changing with our data. We will still have sold information, our comping tool, everything. So everything is remaining the same. We've double confirmed, triple confirmed, all of that.
Awesome. Well, Michelle, again, thank you so much for coming on today and helping with this demo. I know I always learn new things when we do these demos,
Of
and
course.
all of my audience is going to learn with me. So I'm super, super excited. And we're going to go ahead and just jump on in here, guys. Today's focus is going to be on MLS comps nationwide. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, guys. If you haven't already checked out Batch Leads, now is the time, literally the best time to join,
Mhm.
because they have MLS comps nationwide. So if you lost the ability, let's say you were using one of these services that, doesn't have this anymore, Batch Leads is going to be the best solution for you. There's a link below this video to get a free trial, or you can use code DAVE to get that trial. With that trial, you get 7 days of free
Mhm.
use, and they also are going to include 5,000 property records included. So you can go in, you can pull these property records. I love Batch Leads, been using them for over a year. You can see I have about 160,000 properties in here. I've skip traced 150,000 of these properties in my dashboard. Love it. I use it for MLS comps. I use it for skip tracing. I use it for list stacking. I use it for SMS campaigns. And I've recently started using it for some direct mail too. It's the all-in-one platform, guys. It is truly the
Mhm.
all-in-one platform. I love it. I absolutely love it. So without further ado, Michelle, let's
Yes.
jump on in and take a look at the comping tool. So for anybody and everybody that is already using this, they are going to go to the properties area or the list search area, or where are they going to go?
So any of our features you can access the comping tool from. So you obviously, if you look at our pricing structure, you have your main account starts at $39. You have the comping feature there.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the list add-on, you can comp before, while you're in the list add-on. And then also in the inbox when you're texting, you can comp properties
And
straight
that's
from the
probably
inbox
where
too.
people are going to be using it the most, right? So like if we're
Yeah,
in
so
our inbox, and here's my inbox, and I'm scrolling through these different individuals, and
yeah,
let's
let's
see
go
if
to
I
a
have
hot
any
lead or
see if I have any
something.
warm or hot ones in here. We do have some hot ones. All right. So boom, there it is.
Perfect.
We can click right here, and then we
hmm
can click on the actual property address, and boom, just like that, it's going to pop up the property information, which is
Yep.
phenomenal. And if
Yeah,
I
it's
click,
awesome. There's like a whole profile for it.
there is a whole profile. So you can see this pops up on top of my screen, guys. So you can kill that out. We can click on a different lead here, but we're going to basically just click on the property address right
Mhm.
up on top. And once we click on that, it's going to pop up with information about this property. So we can see here, here's a picture of the property, and you can see here's a map of the property, and I can even draw my little guy here and drop him on the map if I want. But you have all sorts of information right here. Now you can also click over these different tabs. So comparables is where we're going to focus on today. But you can also look at the sale and the loan information, or any tax information, and any local MLS listing information. You also have lists, you also have tags. And then if there's any foreclosures or liens, and that information can be very, very helpful as well. So you have all these different options. But again, today we are focusing on the MLS comping side of things. So we're going to click into any property. And again, Michelle, you had mentioned that you can do this out of the inbox area, which is where I'm at now. You can do this from the properties area.
Yep.
And then where else did you mention?
In the list search. So let's go ahead and just show them really quick. So
Sure.
yeah, go to the list search,
Yeah.
and let's just search a market, any market.
All right, let's do Florissant, Missouri. That's where I'm at, or that's where I do a lot of marketing. Okay, boom.
So just click that first property address on, yep.
Boom,
And so
pops it
let's
up
say,
right there. Look at that.
yeah. And what's great is maybe they're telling you about a different property. You have them on the phone, and maybe they're like, oh, I have multiple properties. Like, here's my other one. You can go to the list search, type in that property address, and have it pop up in our nationwide search. And
So
then
here's what I own. Let's just go ahead and pull this one up. It's over in Ferguson. Everyone's heard of Ferguson, right? Who doesn't know of Ferguson? This is one I own. Boom, 701
click search.
Melcher. Let's go ahead and get that one pulled up.
Click search, yeah.
Yeah, I got to click search here. Okay, boom, there it is. That's the one I own. That's so I can click on this, and then boom, there it is.
And then here's the same profile.
It shows me as the owner right there, guys. That's awesome. Very, very cool. And then we can do the comparables right here as well. So you can do it from the list search. You can type in your actual property address, or you can just type in like a city. So St. Louis, Missouri. I can't spell half the time. Click search. And then you're going to have all these on the right side as well. So there's a couple different ways to access it. If you have the actual property already, you can go and you can find that property in here already, or you can go to the inbox and you can look at the hot leads or the warm leads, and you can find yourself one like this, and then you can click on it and boom, it pops up. So multiple ways to access these comps from Batch Leads' platform. I love it. Okay. So now that we find our subject property and we're in here and we have it pulled up, we're going to simply click right here on the second tab, guys. And this is the comparables area. I love it. Okay. Now we have our comparables popped up, and you can see that it's going to be color coordinated. So you're going to have your solds as your red, you're going to have your actives as your green, and your pending as yellow. And if I just want my solds or my actives, I can go in here and I can toggle off and on the pendings and the actives. So now, and I'll need to click filter, but now this is just going to show me my comps that are sold. And then check this out, guys. I could say I typically, and this is what I typically do, right?
Yeah, let's hear your rules.
I buy hundreds of houses a year, right? Hundreds. And I have to comp all of these houses when I'm buying them. So personally, I like to go to 6 months. And I also will take my distance down to a half of a mile, in some cases a quarter of a mile. Let's start with a quarter mile. And let's start with 6 months. All right. And it looks like we have our subject property is 2225 Collier. I own a house on Collier. What are the odds?
That's crazy.
It's crazy. So it looks like I have one comp right here. But again, I took my range down to a quarter mile and to 6 months. So it's always best to start small in terms of your proximity. And it's always good to have relatively recent data. But if you do like I did in this scenario and you don't get enough, then just take your perimeter out to like a half a mile and then click filter. And that will give us a ton more comps here. And another thing you can do is you can also expand out your duration from 6 months to, let's say, 12 months. So if I do that as well, and I do a half mile and I do 12 months, it looks to me like I have 6 pages of comps over here. Yeah. Which is awesome. So I'm going to keep it at a half a mile, but I'm going to take it back to 6 months. I'm going to go ahead and click filter.
Another
And
thing
that
too,
puts me at 19 right there. Look at that.
yeah, if you're looking at this area too, and maybe so our perimeter is within half mile, but maybe you see a really large cross street and you don't want to do
Oh, that's a
comps
great
in that
point.
certain area, or maybe, yeah, it's just kind of going to give you an inaccurate reading. We do have a
Mhm.
cropping tool for the map. So if you see right under satellite, see how there's
Satellite right here. Okay.
yep.
Yep.
So there's a cropping box and then like a little circle. So the box is really great for neighborhoods because you can just really crop those streets out and just have it grab the comps within there. So that way you don't accidentally grab a comp that's, across a major street or anything like that or in a
So
different neighborhood.
this one here creates a box. Look at that.
Hmm.
Or I could use this one here, and this is going to create a circle,
Kind of like us.
which I
Yeah.
didn't do. I didn't do the right area, but that's okay. And then
And you
what
can
is this
kind of,
little guy? Oh, that makes it full screen. Look at that. Okay.
hmm
Interesting. I like it. I like it.
yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And then we can always reset these right here as well.
Hmm.
But let's go ahead and let's get rid of my pending. Let's get rid of my actives. I want to take this to 6 months, and we can take this down to a half a mile. We're going to go ahead and filter. And just like that, within a couple clicks, I was able to find myself 19 comps right here. I love it. Okay. Now, what's up with these little ups and downs and question marks, these little
Yeah,
things
of
on the
course.
side over here?
Yeah, so basically what you're going to do, obviously you see quite a few different comps on the map. So if you like, let's say, see the first one under
Mhm.
our, so the blue star is the property we're comping. So let's say we like that one. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, similar square footage, similar square footage within similar year built, looks like within, hit the thumbs up, like you like that comp.
Right here. Okay.
Perfect. And now you can see the thumbs up on the map, like where it's at. So if you want, you can
Oh.
hover over that on the
So if
map.
I wanted to thumbs up a couple of these, I can see it right here. It
Yeah,
adds the little thumb in front. I like it. Now, also, is it adjusting this estimated value over here too?
as you're liking them. Yep. So
Ah,
it's getting all of those information and what they sold for. And then go ahead and click one of the red flags that you liked on the
okay. So like
screen.
this one here. Okay.
Yes, so you can actually view the details of this property if you want, and you can
Ooh,
save it into your
and see the
database.
pictures all in the same spot. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can click the thumbs up right here.
Yep.
I can save this property if I want to. I can actually click
Details.
details, which is going to pull up a whole nother tab or a whole nother tab.
And now
But
you
I
can
love that
comp
it
this
does that because
property
it
or
doesn't just get rid
yeah.
of this. It just creates a new tab to where I can kind of dive in a little deeper to see if this is one that I want. And then when
Mm-hmm.
I'm done, I can go back over here and I can thumbs up her. So what does the thumbs down do?
If it's a bad comp, like you're like, no, let's throw that one out. So it's just something that yeah, if you want to mark it as down, and it'll save all that information for you too. So
Wow, I love it. Okay, cool. So if I was to run comps on 2225 Collier Drive up in Florissant, so basically you guys are also giving us a lot of awesome information here, right? You're giving us
mhm,
estimated value, you're giving us a confidence score, you're giving us the estimated equity, what
mhm,
the estimated rent is. So this is super valuable information for just being on the fly to kind of know what these values, are going to be. It also shows mortgage debt and summary. So you can see when this was bought and sold the last time, right? So it looks like this was purchased for 76,000, but that was back in 1998. That was over 20 years ago, right?
yeah.
Love that. And basically the estimated value of this is about 185,000. So let's actually go in and let's run some comps. So this is a
Okay.
3-bedroom, 2-bath property, and it's 1,400 square foot. So I did notice that the square footage over here is plus or minus 20%. And again, if the property is really big or really small, you may want to decrease the actual plus or minus, but 20 percent on a 1,400 square foot house is great. So we're not even going to mess with that, which is awesome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look for 3-bed, 2 baths in the area that are going to be similar to this 1,400 square foot. And you can see my property at the top here is in blue. So this one right here, It's sold for 90,000. It's probably a little low. This first one was for 90, so we're going to undo that one. But we have one for 190 right here over on Harkey, and that's a 3-bed, 2-bath, and it's 1448. So it's only 40 square foot bigger, and that's got 1,000. So then let's say I wanted to find a couple more. This is a good one. Let's see here. This looks like a good one. And it's moving all these up to the top, which I really like too, right?
Makes it so much easier for you to see like what you're comping.
Yes. And this one right here looks like a good one too. So boom, it's going to move all these to the top. And look at that. So these 4 comps that I just found right here, it's going to show the averages of all of these. So the average from the comps that are selected, the average price is 179. The average price per square foot is 134,000. And it's going to show that my estimated value based upon my comps right here is 187,000 and change, which is really, really, really close to what you all have estimated the value at 185,000. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing. Now, that's just the solds. If I was going to be looking at pendings and or actives, I can toggle those on. All I got to do is click up here and then click that filter button. And that filter button is going to basically reset what parameters we set in here. And if you need to reset those, you can obviously click right here.
Do you know why you would or wouldn't want to include those in your comps?
You know, I don't typically look at the actives or the pendings when I'm doing my comps. However, sometimes whenever I'm going to be doing a fix and flip, right?
You
I
want
want
to
to
see what
know
it'll.
I want to know if the market is hot or not. And by going in and looking at the actives and the pendings and seeing when they were actually listed and when those like what the days on market for those particular comps are, can be helpful to determine if that market or that neighborhood or whatever, that city, that county, that state is hot. And if our property's sitting on the market for a long period of time, or are they selling quickly, right?
Gotcha. That's awesome. Because I know, yeah, it can kind of be tricky because especially in a hot market, sometimes people think they can get more for up, or they'll mark it way up sale price and then, maybe it'll come down once it's finally sold or maybe
Yeah,
it'll go way over the sale price, right? Like that they listed, someone will bid higher.
that's exactly right. I love it. I
Yeah.
really like that you can have this little tool right here too to
I know, isn't that great? Yeah.
drop this
Get
on
the
the map.
street
So if I
view.
actually want to look at the subject property, I can drop myself right here on the map. And if I want to go back, I can go back. I love it. I love it. So these down arrow ones are basically just saying that they're not going to make for good comps. And the question mark ones say, yeah, maybe they're good comps, maybe they're not. But the actual ones with the plus up or the thumbs up over here are the ones that are going to actually be calculated into my average price as well as my average square foot. And let's see if we're able to add a lower one. So we have a 98 and a 90 right here. So if I add these in, you can see that it's actually going to change my estimates, my estimated value, my average price per foot, and my average price. So you don't want the ones that are really low, like this 90 and this 89, to be calculated in. So you can either not select them or select them as the no's here. I love that. That's a really cool feature. So then what are the actions though? What's this? If I wanted to
Yeah.
export or email these to somebody, I can do that. Wow.
Yeah, so you can actually add these to a list in your database. So if you want to, keep it organized somewhere within your data, you can, yeah, you can export them to an Excel spreadsheet, or you can email this over to somebody really quick. So if you have someone on your team that you're like, hey, here are the comps that I ran for this property, here you go. You can move it off to that next step or that other
I like it. So
person.
you can select all of just the pluses. You can select all of the question marks. You can select all of the negatives here if you, or the down thumb if you like. So we could select all of these, for example, and that's what I didn't do the last time. And then from there, I could add to a list. I could export those comps, or I could email those to myself or somebody on the team,
Yeah.
or even a buyer that maybe, wants help with some comps if they're interested in buying that property. Wow, I love it. So let's look at some of these filters over here because this is so easy to use. This is really intuitive. So you can filter in and out types of properties. And that could come in handy, right? If you're in an area with a lot of mixed use buildings or commercial buildings and you're just looking for single families, or maybe you're looking for just duplexes, right? That's where the property type would come in. So if you're looking for timeshares or bungalows or whatever, you can filter those in, filter those out. Right now, it's just defaulted to residential and single family. And that's typically what I'm looking at buying anyway, right? Is my single family homes.
Yep.
They do have filters here for your duration. And guys, if you can get very, very close and very, very recent, that's going to be your best comps, right?
Yeah.
So I always start small and I always start recent. And then from there, I will slowly take out the distance and the time. A half a mile in 6 months is really, really good, especially when you're in a large metro or you're a large populated area. That's typically going to be the go-to. Built within 10 years, or you can ignore your year built, and you can actually filter that on and off, which I like. You can ignore bedrooms, you can ignore bathrooms. So in this case, let's say that I only wanted, a 3-bedroom, because this particular house is a 3-bedroom. So
Or
let's say,
that would be plus or minus 3. So I
oh,
would do
gotcha.
plus or
So I
minus
actually want
1.
same.
Yeah, or plus or minus 1. Yep.
Aha.
Yeah.
Awesome. So same bedrooms and same bathrooms. I can filter that. And then what that's going to do, that's going to take my 19 comps over here down to 9. So it's basically saying, hey, if it's not exactly a 3-bed or exactly a 2-bath, which is what my subject property is, you can see right up here at the top, 3-bed, 2-bath, you can actually filter those in and out. So let's actually play with this for a minute. Let's go in and let's say, hey, we only want our square footage plus or minus 10%, not 20%. So let's go ahead and click that filter. And it went from 9 comps to 5 comps. Look at that. I love that. That's
Niching
awesome.
it down.
Niching it down. And I can say, hey, this makes for a good comp. And, this one makes for a good comp. So I have 3 of these selected at this point. And my estimated value is 160 with average price of 165, average price per square foot at 114. And the estimated value on this particular property is 185. So you can come up with your own estimated value depending on the comps you choose, or you can reset these filters and you can undo all of these. And then it's going to basically show you nothing here because you have to have something selected. So the things that you have selected over here will affect the estimated value as well as the average price per foot and the average price. I love it. This is so easy to use, and it's very, very, very intuitive. I really like, too, that you can filter in and out of the actives and the pendings right here. And let's take this back down to a half a mile. We're going to ignore bed, bath, keep the square foot at 20. We're going to take it to 6 months. I want to ignore the year built, and boom, just like that, guys, we've ran comps. Look how easy that was, right? So incredibly easy. And then to actually see those comps, we're going to scroll down to the bottom and we are going to find the ones that are most similar and most recent within here. And I want to take out, actually, all of these look pretty good. This one's kind of low. Let's take that
And if
one
we
out.
do have the images for them, you can view the inside to see if it's pretty similar.
Yeah, look at this. You guys are estimating it at 185. And I
Mhm.
just ran and got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comps. These comps are within a half a mile. They're within 6 months. And their estimated values are 184, 300. So you're literally looking at a
That's great.
difference here of what you guys guesstimated it to be and what I just ran the comps on. Less than $1,000. Look at that. That's awesome.
Cool.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
really,
great.
really cool. Okay. So you had mentioned that we can click right here. Look at that. And we can actually see these properties.
Yeah,
Guys,
if they've
this
been
is
flipped
so,
themselves or yeah.
oh my God, this is so amazing to be able to view these property photos, because if I have a comp and it is a very, very high comp. So like, look at this one. This is 194, right? Well, I'm going to be very curious to see, what this property looks like in order to get to 194,000. It's above, where we were at. So you can tell here that this property is in great shape. It's super clean. Looks like it's got newer countertops. The cabinets are a little bit older. The appliances look new light fixtures. The bathroom looks great. It's super clean. It doesn't look like it needs any work. right? Not necessarily super updated, but super clean, which
Mm-hmm.
is awesome. So on the flip side, if we go down here and we find one of these that sold for 90 grand or 98,000,
Yeah, let's look at those.
look at these. I would imagine these properties are going to be much more dated. Look at this. Dated floors, dated countertops, dated appliances. Looks like the microwave's just sitting there on the thing. So this property is going to need much more work, but it's going to also be very beneficial for you to see, hey, what do these properties look like? This one only has one photo. What do these properties look like that are on this lower end spectrum? And I can say, I don't like these comps, right? I'm going to minus those down here. But the ones that, have good numbers. So like here's one that's got 180,000, and I can go in and I can look at these actual photos. So having the comps right here, having the photos right here, having the filters right here is going to be super, super, super helpful. And one of my favorite things that I didn't even know about until just right now is the ability to get the details of each comp in a new tab.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that feature. That is really, really cool. Very cool. I love it. I love it. All right, Michelle, what have I missed?
That's really it. I mean, it's so straightforward, and I feel like they've really done a good job at simplifying everything to make comping easy for whatever skill level you're at or experience level. Obviously, if you see something or have a feature you want to suggest too, we are always changing and updating and taking things into consideration too. So if there is something missing or something you want to see added to the comping tool or any of our other features, you can always let us know too.
Man, I
Yeah.
love it. This is great. So check this out. I just saw this little thing. I did never use this before, but this will actually allow me to toggle on and off the table configuration
And save them. Yep.
and
And you
save them,
can
right? So the
for
table
future.
can show different things. Also, guys, we can also sort by all of these columns right here, right? So if I want to get the properties that are
The
the
closest.
closest right there, we can toggle this on and off. We can toggle this by the property address. So
Bedroom,
many
bathrooms. Yeah.
bedrooms and bathrooms by square footage, price per foot. You can toggle that to the high or to the low.
Hmm.
So my subject property is 55, but you can see I have comps at 90, 94, and 88. And I can do the same thing with my square footage. I can do the highest ones on the top, or I can have the lowest ones on the top. Very, very, very cool. Michelle, this is awesome. Very, very
Good.
cool. Guys, if you have not already signed up for Batch Leads, now is the perfect time to do so. All right. Use the link below this video to get a 7-day free trial and 5,000 property records included in that trial for free. We also love using Batch Leads for tons of other stuff. All right. We can search a list and we can find lists. Let's say I want to do a St. Louis list, right? I can type in
Mhm.
my city, my county, my zip code, an area, and I can actually see these properties. I can use the filter thing to basically pull lists of any type of property that I may want or like.
And you get
We can
5,000 free
and
on
you get
that trial from
5,000
there.
free,
Like
which is
5,000
awesome.
free leads. Yeah.
5,000 free. We can go into the properties, and these are properties that we maybe already have imported or pulled from the list, and we can actually go in here and we can filter out all of these particular properties, which is super cool. I use the system a ton for skip tracing. In fact, Batch Leads is my #1 skip tracing provider. I love it so much because of the match savings. And basically with Batch Leads, if you skip trace a list, like look at this, I just skip traced a list back in the middle of December. There was 7,400 records on it. And look at this. There was
Yeah.
1,500 matches. And that one skip trace saved me $157 because I already had skip traced these leads. So what that means is that it's not going to charge you to skip trace a lead that you've already skip traced. It's going to say, hey, we already recognize this in the system, and you don't need to pay us again for data that you've already purchased. Love that. So like, just look at
Or
December.
yeah,
December alone right here. It's like, 2,
that's
3,
crazy.
4,
It
it's
pays
almost
for itself.
$500 of savings in the skip tracing area just from the match savings. I love it. And then, of course, you got campaigns. You got SMS campaigns. You got direct mail campaigns. If we click into the SMS campaigns, you can see a bunch of these different campaigns. You can see active, archived, completed. We'll click on my completed. I got 17 pages over here. Completed campaigns. And then you, of course, have the inbox where you can manage and monitor all of the SMS responses and replies, all these great little filters. And then, of course, today we touched on the property lead information. And more importantly than that, the MLS comps. Now, these MLS comps are nationwide. Am I wrong?
Mhm. Nope,
Nice.
they are nationwide.
Nationwide MLS comps. Absolutely love that. And then last but not least, you can look at your import export reports, your SMS reports, and or your direct mail reports. So if I was going to go in here and look at my SMS reports and just click at the last, let's actually go to the past year is actually going to take us. It does. It takes us for the whole year. Nope, that's for this year. But either way, you have your reports in here. I absolutely love it. And then the dashboard is actually one of the best areas as well, too, because you can see how many properties are on different lists. So like I have 1,100 properties that are actually on 5 different lists. So your list stacking and list counts are easy right here. You can see these lists by clicking here. You can also look at this pie chart, which is super helpful to see, which of these properties are vacant, are absentee, right? You can also see a campaign summary, as well as a skip trace summary, and then a team summary, who's sending texts, and so on and so forth. Love, love, love this tool. Guys, check it out for yourself. batchleads.io/Dave. There's a link below this video that you can use. It'll give you 5,000 property records included with the 7-day free trial. You would be a fool to pass up this opportunity. I love it. I absolutely love it. Michelle, thank you so much.
You're
For
welcome.
coming on with me today and doing this demo. I always learn new things when we do these demos. Guys, Batch Leads is the all-in-one platform for real estate investors. Not only can you pull lists, you can skip trace those lists. You can stack
do it
those
all.
lists. You can do it all. You can stack those lists. You can direct mail. You can SMS blast and manage those things. You can run comps, MLS comps, nationwide comps, and send direct mail. Holy cow. So many things. Don't forget, use code Dave to get that 7-day free trial, as well as those 5,000 property records. There's a link in the description, and or you can use code Dave, but it is truly the all-in-one platform for real estate investors. And with that, I think we wrapped it up, Michelle.
Yeah, we have a few questions
Let's see
that
what we
maybe
got.
I can answer. Yeah. So someone asked, how often is property info updated? So one thing, this is really important too with Batch Leads, is we're constantly updating your information that you put into our system. So we'll tell you if any of your properties are recently sold that you have personally in your, so that way you're not skip tracing or texting a recently sold property. And if it's currently vacant, if it's currently going into pre-foreclosure. So we will update that information for you daily. We scan all of our data providers daily. As soon as they're refreshing their information, once they have new information for us, we have new information for you that day. So, sometimes our data providers update their info daily, weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, whatever. But as soon as they're updating and refreshing their system, ours is that same day too.
Wow.
So you guys are receiving, as soon as we got it, you have it. So that's a really great question that I get a lot. And then
nice. So Dennis says, does it show linked properties?
Does it show linked properties? I'm not too sure what that means. Is that like a feature on a different
Yeah, so linked properties would basically mean so I may own 50 houses.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so
if you're clicking on a particular owner, are you able to see if they own other properties or not?
Not yet. So you can search the like open mortgages and stuff. If you want to pull a list of cash buyers and make sure they have multiple open mortgages, I don't know, or something like that. Like or multiple mortgages, you can kind of do that. But no, linked properties, we don't have that feature yet, but I know we're working on it. And it probably will be released in one of the next updates coming soon. So that is something that people have asked about.
Awesome. Great
For
answer.
sure.
Roy says,
Yeah.
can it run comps on the non-disclosure states?
So we do aggregate, so it's nationwide. Like you're going to get sold information from any state. We just aggregate it from a different proprietary source. So yeah, we have so many data providers that even if it is like a non-disclosure state, we're getting it from one of our data providers and presenting it to you as a sold property. So yeah,
Love
great
it.
question.
Love it. Okay, one or two more here. We got a guy says, what does it mean in batch leads when it says 100,000 contacts with a $39 monthly plan? That's a great question.
Yeah, so we have different plans. Our base plan is probably our most popular plan where people start is $39 a month. Think of this as your main account, okay? So you get 100,000 in memory storage. So 100,000 properties that you can import or upload into your database. You get 14-cent skip tracing, list stacking, comping, all the data management tools in that $39 base plan right there. And then if you need to upgrade, you can, as you start scaling your business, you can upgrade to the performance if you need more memory storage, or maybe you want cheaper skip tracing. Maybe you're really ramping up that skip tracing amount and it makes sense to get that lower rate. Now, our add-ons, think of them as apps you're adding onto your account. So if you want to start texting, you're going to add texting on. If you want to
Right.
start pulling lists, you're going to add the list feature on. Now, what's cool is you can turn these off. So you're never like what I love, especially like some other platforms, they just have one price where you're paying $99 a month, but maybe you're not using all of the features. And so you're paying $99 a month to just use their comping tool or to just do one feature. With ours, you can turn those off. So if you're not texting 1 month, you can turn that off. If you don't need any more leads, you can turn the $59 add-on off, and then you're just back on that main account price. So whether that's the 39 or the middle package or the top one where you can get 2 million in memory storage.
Right. So the cool thing is it's optional. If you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be using the SMS, which you'd be
Don't
crazy
pay
not
for
to,
it.
you have to pay for it. Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't need to pull lists, which again, I think you'd be crazy to not want to pull lists, you don't have to pay for those. Right.
Or if you're
Those
doing it, if you're pulling lists every other month, just pay for it every other month.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You can opt in and out of those. I love that. What a great question. What an awesome
Mm-hmm.
question. I love that. All right. And my buddy David Olds, I was just texting with David last night, says, wow, Dave, great job. Thanks so much for this. Very timely and helpful. And that is the goal. We want to help as many people as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Jay asked, hey, is this recorded? And it is recorded. Go over to my YouTube channel, David Dodge Show. And this video will be over there to watch as many times as you like. Dina says, or Denji says, can she explain the A2P 10-digit long code? Is that now required to text using batch? And that's actually a really, really good question.
Yeah, I would love to answer this. So A to P, for those watching that don't know, is app to person. So any app that's sending a message to a person is an A2P platform. 10DLC is 10-digit long code. So your phone number that you're texting with is a 10-digit long code in an A2P platform that's sending a message for you. So basically, what this means is you just need to register your business with your 10-digit long codes, with your numbers that you're using for texting. So what that means is and there's a starter and a standard package for 10DLC. And so you decide which one you are, but basically you register your business, super easy. Batch leads, here, I'll show you how easy it is. Let me know if you can. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't.
you want to share your screen real quick
Okay.
with us? That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay.
There
Let
it
me see.
is.
All right, cool. So if you go to your settings in SMS settings, we have 10 DLC right here, and we've taken all the hard stuff out for you. So like we have all the information for you. If you want to read this yourself, you can, but you're just going to click register your brand. And we take you through the steps. It's 3 steps. So you just fill out with your company, which profile you are. Okay, if you're low volume texting or high volume texting, that's basically how you're going to decipher. And then you're just going to register your company name, go to campaign registration, and then confirm it. It can take up to 24 hours to do that. If you are the high volume, you will need a tax ID number. So if you have an LLC already, you're good to go. Just put in your tax ID number there, and then you'll be able to register. So the reason why they did this is basically I personally think that AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, all of them wanted a piece of the pie with text marketing. And so they're like, hey, if you want to text our customers, then with this marketing form, like you're going to have to register, right? But basically what it does is they are able to see that you're a real business. And so they know the motive behind this number that's sending their people messages. They can see that you're texting from an app. They know that
Right.
this is coming from an app. And so they basically want to know that this person texting through this app is a legit business and a real person. And so when you register, it builds a trust with these carriers, and they don't block your messages or reject it being sent to their customer. They're basically trying to protect their clientele. And I've noticed ever since 10 DLC, I hardly get any like spam texts or anything like that anymore,
Yeah, it's cut down a ton, which is great.
which is great because
I mean, it's
now if
really a
someone's
good thing
actually
at the end of the
texting
day.
me, exactly, now I'm like, oh, this might be a real person because I'm not getting bombarded with spam. So that's really all it is just building trust between the carriers that you're a real person, and your delivery rates will go up. So if you don't do it, your delivery rates will go all the way, will go down tremendously, and you're not following TCPA guidelines and laws, so you're at risk of litigations and things like that. So
Yes,
it's good. It's just another hoop we have to jump through, but just know batch leads, we're always looking at what's changing in the industry and how we can stay on top of it. And we've been anticipating this for a long time. So we definitely had things ready.
yes, I absolutely love it. Okay, we got time for maybe 1 or 2 more. So I know
Perfect.
this is separate, but can you use batch dialer with a cell phone?
Yes, yeah.
That's a good question. Can you
And
do that?
great
I don't
question.
even know.
Yeah. So if or with a cell phone, we don't have an app. If that's what he means, like download an app. That's coming. We're working on that. But no, you'll need
Cool.
it works from a computer. So you'll need internet, you'll need your computer. But if you want to use a cell phone number, you can import a cell phone number to use that
So
through the
yes,
batch dialer.
so yes and
So
no.
yeah, if that's what he's asking, I'm not sure. But so if you're asking one thing, no, we don't have an app. If you're asking another, you can import a cell phone number and use that in the dialer. And that's been really great with how sometimes when someone calls you, it'll say spam. So it's called the Trace Act. If you use legit phone numbers rather than DID dialing, inward dialing phone numbers, then like a burner, if you get a burner phone and use that phone number, or if you go to Verizon and open a business line and import that phone number to use in the batch dialer, it won't show up as spam when you're calling people because it's a different type of number. It's like a legit one through Verizon or AT&T or whoever.
All right. He said, that's clear. You answered my question. Michelle,
Cool.
you are the best. All right. Brian says, this feature that Dave showed, how much is that monthly plan? And I think he's probably referring to just
The
using the
comping.
MLS comps.
39.
I'm
You can get it.
assuming.
You can get it at our lowest, the main package at 39. So just know you can access it from any of our features, but it comes with the $39 base plan.
Right. So you don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to have the SMS add-on or the list add-on
No.
to be able to use the MLS comping side of this tool. I love it. Din says, guys, hit those like buttons. I love it. Hit that like button for me. Much, much appreciated. So yeah, Brian, to answer your question though, You do not need any of these add-ons for SMS or for the list. Essentially, you can get this for $39 a month. But again, make sure that you use code Dave, or you use the link below this video, because it'll not only give you that 7-day free trial, but it'll include 5,000 property records that you would be able to use for free. And the property records, essentially, wrong tab, would be an add-on. But for 7 days, you get that add-on included for free with up to 5,000 records that you can pull. So again, don't forget to use code Dave or the link below this video. And wow, Michelle, that was awesome. Thank you so much for coming on today, helping with the demo. MLS comps are so incredibly important, guys. So incredibly important, because that's really where we need to be. Or that's really what we need to use to figure out our ARV. And if you know anything about real estate investing, you work backwards from an ARV and you use MLS comps to get that ARV, right? You need MLS comps. You need sold data in order to determine the ARV of your subject property. So then you can use the MAO formula, which is a whole different conversation. But you're going to basically start with that ARV, and you're going to back out a percentage. Then you're going to back out your repairs. And if you are wholesaling, guys, you are also going to back out your wholesale fee. Regardless, it all starts with ARVs, which you get from MLS comps. So if you recently lost your ability to pull MLS comps, especially nationwide, anybody that's doing anything virtual right now is probably like, holy cow, how am I going to run comps in Oregon or St. Pete or, Indianapolis or wherever it is that they may be investing? The platform is all in one. It has it. I love it. I love it.
Awesome.
Very, very cool. Guys, don't forget, 7-day free trial, 5,000 property records included for free. Use code Dave or click the link below this video. And I think with that, we will wrap it up. Michelle, thank you so much. And as always, it's so great to get to connect with you and get to do these demos. Not only are we able to help spread the good word about how awesome Batch is, but we also can learn a couple things on these demos too, which is makes it so much fun. So, all right, guys, with that, we're going to be signing off, and go check it out. You guys are crazy if you don't.
And we're here to help if you need anything.
And that's right. You guys have the most amazing customer support. I didn't even get to mention that. But if you guys have any issues with setting up these long codes or the registration or how to do this or how to do that, their customer support is top notch. And they just are just so easy to work with. So I can't recommend you guys enough. And again, thank you so much for coming on today, Michelle. With that,
welcome.
We'll be signing off.